Dear Heavenly Father. No, I'm joking.
Pray over it.
Yo, this is not a trip down memory lane. Here's a little story, now let me explain. It's more of an antidote, mixed with a lot of hope. This could be a lot of folks, single parent, dead broke. Spend a lot of time alone, making beats on the phone. Daddy ain't coming home, mama trying to stay strong. But her patience is running thin, getting sick and tired of all the trouble he's in. Fussing and fighting, it's hard to make friends, and she just gotta call, he's in the office again. One more time and they might suspend. Screaming, teacher, teacher, give him one more chance. Losing all faith like he just can't win. His back's to the wall cause he following trends. Afraid to seem weak so we gotta pretend. Life out of control, can't see no end. He needs safe space, someone to relate, help him to be great. She needs safe space, someone to reward, never to ignore. They need safe space, someone to respect, open intellect. We need safe space, got to regulate, try to balance the way. We need safe space. I need safe space.
Welcome, everybody, to the Safe Space Podcast. We are back in here for another incredible episode. Man, we got a super special guest today. One of our own, part of the family, a brother, a father, an unofficial doctor.
That cracks me up.
Yo, man, none other than the world-class Mr. Stevie McBride himself.
Thank you. And you. I think I said thank you to all the 4 people we got on.
There you
Go
go.
tell us what podcast this is as well, guys. Go for it.
Who?
Stevie.
Who gonna tell you?
Stevie.
Stevie, you the doctor?
Dr. Stevie's gonna tell us what
Dr.
podcast.
Stevie.
Man, I was gonna leave it to Prophet Haskell, but I guess we'll just. I don't want to guess, man. Look, I know I'm off because when the last time I've been on? It's been a month, right? We didn't do last week. The week before last, I was there. I was in and out because my daughter was fighting with me. So I'm gonna go on a limb. Are we counting last season too, or are we just doing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because
That's
that's a great question. Then
So
where would we be?
We know we did 10 the
We
first. So then
Exactly.
how many did we
10,
do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we
You
gotta
drowning.
be like around 15, 16.
At least you want to help him out,
17.
Leash? You want to help him out, Leash?
I actually
Yeah,
don't even. I
around-
lost count.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know,
Knew you
but
was
I'm
gonna
gonna
call
go
me.
with
Down.
I'm
You
gonna
wanna
go
help
with
him out? Help your brother out.
14 podcasts total
Wait, between both seasons?
We're on number
between
14.
both seasons.
No.
Okay, I was right.
All right.
The doctor is always right.
I don't like where this is going.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Love where it's
I'm
going.
just getting started.
The act-
Ain't nobody give out a number yet. I'm the only one gave out a number.
Yo, it's 14.
It's 14.
Woo!
It can't be.
Yes,
We have
let's
to-
go.
we have to
It's
confirm.
not.
We have to confirm.
No. Because think about
Confirm.
it. We
I'm
all
hashtag
had
right and blessed.
Hey,
our own like episodes, and Haskell had like a 2-parter,
yeah.
and then Smokey
You're right.
came on and had a 2-parter.
That's
Jay,
true.
we're
1,
confirming
2,
the-
3, 4. 14.
And we've also had guests.
That math ain't mathing.
This is actually
And
And we've had guests.
this is actually episode 17, guys.
I said that
Thank
number
you.
2.
Thank you for playing.
I said 4 numbers.
All
I
right.
just 14 was the
17 ain't
first
right
one.
either.
17 ain't right.
17 not right either.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't count the YouTube videos.
I think so.
I don't know
But
about
for
this.
all of our fans, you guys go count them for us, and then we
Yeah.
don't
Please.
care. Then
Let
we
us
don't
know really
care.
quick.
If you really rocking with us, you know how many podcasts we did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yo,
If you're not rocking with us, we know the truth. Because we don't know. You're in the same boat with us.
yo, either way, this is the best one yet.
There you go. We've gotten better.
Yo,
For sure.
so
As you use the sound effects from your perfect person over at the last thing.
yo, I had to make a tall order to get these effects specifically. I got
Oh,
got
my
everything
God.
I need.
Oh
So-
man.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad.
Let's get started, Steve. We checking in first, bro. So
Yeah.
start us off.
Oh man, let's see. Highs for the week. It's a short week this week, so I'm not going in tomorrow. I said nah. My daughter got a doctor's appointment, so we're gonna go to the doctor's appointment. I do have a meeting whenever I get back, and then after that, we're going to downtown Disney. I'll check that out. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. She ain't ever been, of course. So, it's supposed to be a nice warm day. I'm excited to take her and get her out. So that's my high. My lows for the week. I don't really have any lows. I think, for a while, I mean, it's just been pretty smooth. Life has been pretty smooth. I can't complain about anything. Life is good. Self-care though, it's been on point. I've been on vegan street for the last 4 weeks.
Okay.
I think that's what the vegans say. So I'm official now. That's not what they say. Thanks, Alicia.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Hey, you can start a new trend. Why not?
Yeah, vegan street, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's a trip down a crazy lane. No, it's been different. It's been giving me a rejuvenation I've never really had as far as like just being on top of everything. I think just eliminating meat and any like animal related products has been wild. Like I've never been this extreme in my life. So it's an experience, and I'm enjoying it so far until I smell some chicken. And then yeah, buddy, I want some chicken. But besides that, I'm good. I've been good. I'm a popcorn into our host with the most, Jay Vincent B.
For sure, bro.
Those kids go for
Kids
Libby,
love
you better not be cheering for another man.
Man, highs for the week. Man, just sent over a record to a K-pop group and got some pretty good feedback on that. So hyped about that, man. Lows for the week. My grandmother's birthday was yesterday. Yeah, remembering her and just taking some time to reflect on her life and the fact that she's not here is kind of a low. Self-care, exercise, and I just got my hair cut. So I'm always in a good mood after a fresh cut. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna popcorn it to our chief branding officer, Alicia Cherie.
Hey, I knew it was coming to me. So highs for the week. It's actually been like a really cool week. Very productive. I've gotten a lot of work done on the client side, but also on the music side. I just sent off some vocals for an upcoming project that I'm really excited about and also received some great feedback on. So super excited about that. We just got our time slot and day for Canadian Music Week. So we are geared up for that. And that's pretty exciting. Lows for the week. I'll probably echo what Jay said about Granny Green yesterday. Just trying and not to boo-hoo all day because I miss that woman. She had such an impact on my life, so her not being here is kind of but you know, we press on. And self-care. I actually just bought like a whole bunch of like skincare products that I've been really excited about. So whenever my skin feels good, like I feel good, and so that's been my self-care this week. I will popcorn it to our CEO, Haskell Jackson.
What up? High for the week. Got word earlier this week or last week that the movie I've been working on finally is done. It's like a little couple things that need to be done, but it's completely finished. I was doing the music to it, and there was a lot of music and like really focusing in on this project. So that's finally done. I'm excited about
That's what's up.
what we're gonna do with the film. So that's a blessing alone. One of my, and I forgot to call today, but one of my younger clients is a young girl. She's about 12 or 13. She had to be rushed to the emergency, and she wasn't doing well. She was, throwing up, and they didn't know what it was. So I gotta check in again to see how she is. I was really concerned with her, sweet little girl. And then self-care, just vamping up to get back on my bike. I've been riding at the gym and knocking out, quick little 5 miles here and there, so I can get back on the beach, get back on the bike. So I'm excited about that. And I will popcorn it to Sean Don.
Done.
Yo,
Johnny.
I know y'all can hear me, but y'all can't see me right now. So what we talking about? Highs for the week, lows for the week.
Yeah, we're on a podcast right now. We're talking about
because I'm trying to multitask and grab my camera back up, and I can't. All right, here you go. All right, cool. Yeah, all right, I want to talk about my highs and my lows when I can see myself. Just give me some time. All right, highs for the week. Highs for the week actually was today, like shooting out to Gardena High School for the workshop. That was it was good. It was good to get back in the classroom. That was definitely the high of the week. That just went to the top. Yeah, and I don't think me, Jay, and Haskell has given a presentation like all together, and it's been a minute. It was good. It's good. It's good vibes, man. The energy. Lows, of course, because Jay is my brother, so that's my grandma too. Like, yeah, I saw it pop up on Facebook, but it was like it wasn't a low that like constant. It was the remembrance. But then I literally started thinking about all the hilarious moments for grandma. Yeah. So, like, it instantly turned into like, this is not, it's actually a lot more highs in this than it is lows. But yeah, that's all. Self-care. I've been I mean, because I feel like I talked about the diet. I'm still consistent with that. But I've been getting better sleep. More sleep. I've been trying to get to the bed a lot quicker than usual. So getting some rest with self-care.
Clean it up. Clean it up.
Let it go, Hask. Let it go.
Yo, anyways, more importantly.
Alicia, you know me too well. Stop it.
Sorry about that. But yeah, that's it, man. Highs, lows, and some self-care.
Oh, well, let's get into it, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Steve, I mean, where do we begin, man? We
maybe I should tell everybody what I do.
Okay? Let's start there.
Let's start there.
What do you do?
That's a good idea.
I have a lot of jobs. Oh goodness. Okay, so we're going to start off with what I do for Music for Your Mental Health. I am the clinical director for Music for Your Mental Health. So I oversee all of the clinical piece portion of anything that's being presented for Music for Your Mental Health as far as the mental health aspect, right? That's one, count them.
All right.
2, I am a trauma-informed consultant for the Guidance Center at LBUSD 2.
All right.
And right now I'm housed at Barton Elementary, and I'll be going to another school starting the fall, which
snap.
I'm sad about. Yeah, they moving me, but my principal stays Black, so I'm good with that. 3, I'm also a California PSAR evaluator, and what that is, I go into the skilled nursing facilities and STPs, which is skilled nursing facilities and STPs, special treatment programs for people with major diagnoses. We would call in the past Axis 2, which lies schizophrenia, schizoaffective, bipolar, major depression, all of those. And I write evaluations on whether they should stay or if they should get a different placement. I mean, it goes up to the state of California. So where I'm at, that's 3?
3.
Okay, 4. So I also have a private practice that I currently run myself. Don't have a huge caseload, but I am contracted through Kaiser to actually have clients come to me for private practice sessions, family sessions, where I see anywhere from 0 to, I don't know, whatever adult age you can say I can see. I don't do couples. That's the only thing. I'll do families, but I don't do couples. Couples is a headache. Sorry.
Not for everybody.
And plus, insurance doesn't cover couples. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but usually when you have to go to couples, you got to pay out of pocket. And so for couples, you can charge up to a smooth $200-$300 because it's couples. Yeah, but I don't do couples because that's not fair.
But not even like not boyfriend girlfriend. You're talking about like even marriage, like people that are married.
You can. I mean, they don't have to be married. They can be on the verge. Those couples. It could be premarital. It could be like they're engaged. They can be together. Just domestic relationship.
But married couples aren't covered.
That's what I'm asking.
Married couples aren't covered.
So no couples.
Couples at all is not covered. Yeah.
That's wild.
That is.
They don't want people to stay married.
There may be an insurance that provided. I could be wrong before this information gets out, but it could be. But right now with Kaiser doesn't cover couples. Like you can bring your partner into your individual session. I explain that to people all the time. Yeah, you bring them in once, maybe twice, but then it starts looking like couple therapy. Y'all arguing in front of me. I'll be like, cancel. This session is over. Yeah, it's too much. Like, I'm gonna refer y'all out to couples therapy. So
wow.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the 4 gigs that I do have, and let's say I started around 2011 when I actually finished my master's program in I'll say music for mental health and marriage and family therapy. I do got a master's in music for mental health. And I searched for a few jobs. I interviewed a couple of places. And then on a limb, I guess the guidance center went out and hired me. I, my first 2 weeks, I just knew this wasn't for me. I'd already counted myself out. I was like, I had a I had a supervisor who like beat me down like through words as far as like my note writing, as far as clinical skills and everything. She literally like beat me down. And I was like, this is not for me. I'm not going to be a therapist. Wow. I can say that I did have my prayer warriors behind me through this process because I didn't think I was going to survive the first 6 months. That's how bad it was, because what I didn't know the guidance center does, that they are critical in every piece of clinical writing, because all of that information can go to the court. And if it's found in court and your therapist has errors in their writing, or if it doesn't sound clinically sound and they're not using certain things, the lingo, the language, you can get penalized and you can get sued. And so little did I know I was being prepared for that. Wait, let's say I never went to court. Let's say that first. But I know how to write concise, consistent, excellent notes at this point in my life now. But at that point, I was just didn't think it was for me because of how hard she went on me. She would say little things like improvement here, but for the most part, it was literally like hell week for a therapist. It's like every note got sent back like week after week, and I'm doing up to 20 notes a week. And imagine every note getting sent back, and you have to do another 20 notes the same week. So you're doing 40 notes a week, bro. Tell me. And these notes aren't small. These are like little paragraphs in each piece of the note. So it's like 4 paragraphs. You're writing paragraphs in each week, each piece of the note. I survived. Little to say, I survived. I had that supervisor for about 1.5 years, and then God showed his grace, and I was transitioned to another supervisor who actually taught me about self-care. She was the one that kind of led me in a direction that let me know, like, your life shouldn't be surrounded about these notes. And she just took this big weight off my shoulders, where I was like, okay, I do need to do things for myself, to take care of myself. Because literally the job had me working 7 days a week. I was taking laptops home, working at home after work, after seeing clients, and still writing notes on a weekend where I didn't have any time for myself. It was insane. And a lot of people don't know like the background behind being a therapist when you work for an agency, right? And I try to tell young therapists coming in, like, they create this machine out of you where you are this guy, you're great, your personality is awesome, you're good clinically, you're a good therapist, but the business side and the workload that is put on a therapist is outrageous. Like the expectations can be a little bit, I think, like rough, because they expect you to make a certain quota at the end of the month. I don't know how it is like for police officers, but you have to make your numbers. Otherwise, you start getting penalized and you start getting like looked at, you get written up and all of these things if you don't meet your hours. And it's daunting because you want to write the notes and you want to see the clients and you want to provide this perfect care. You want to help this person so bad. But when you're drowning yourself, can you imagine like how hard that is to like work both sides? It was insane for me. So the first 3 years, I literally just worked. And the paperwork was a lot, because it's not just the note writing. You had in my time when I was like a therapist, things have changed now, but in my time you had 60 days to complete an assessment, a 9-page assessment, and it had to be thorough, like detailed to the T, like your assessments, because everything was regulated by DMH, and DMH didn't hold no bars at the time. And you had 60 days to do an assessment, You had usually notes for a 3-day turnaround. Now it's 24 hours. Now assessments are 24 hours too. So it's even rougher for a newer therapist.
Wow.
Yeah, 9-page assessments. And so say if you're opening up 3 cases a day, that's 9 pages, 18, what's up, 27 pages of just assessment paperwork you're doing. And you're trying to gather as much information you can. And it's heavy. It's heavy, bro.
So your
that's why
your time management
yeah,
gotta be on point. Huh?
Your time management got to be on point. So I'll say this. There were times where in between sessions, because I was a therapist, I hated being in the office because the office is too distracting for me. And plus, I feel like I never got the full picture of a client being in the office, because most of the clients that we see were children, and children present well in front of new people, new environments, around their parents. But when you're in their territory and you're in their area, you're able to get so much more information. You get to not only just hear what the kid is saying or the teen or whoever, but you get to see it. You get to see what's going on in the household. You get to see like how much pressure is put upon his kid and what they have to do. Same thing at school. You get a whole new light of a kid at school because they're around friends, they're around peers, they're engaging with teachers and counselors. And so I hated working in the office. The only time I would go to the office is if I had to do assessments. And so I made it mandatory for me, myself, and I would tell like my supervisor, whoever my supervisor was, like I enjoy being out in the field because it was important for me to actually get the full scope of a kid or a client or a family. That way I get to understand them a little bit better. Let me know if I'm rambling, because I'm just talking about like everything I know from my clinical experience and the other side of like the other side of what y'all think is like glory. Like, yeah, you save lives. Yeah, kind of. But who's saving a therapist when they're drowning?
That's real tough.
Because it's like, yeah, I am, but it's 50-50. I always say it's a 50-50 job, right? You're 50% for the client, and then there's 50% paperwork and billing and trying to bill. And so now, like the recent thing I just heard, because every now and then I drop into the agency because I'm not considered a therapist anymore, where I have paperwork, which is why I'm happier with my life. And I'm able to do multiple jobs, because I couldn't do multiple jobs if I was still a clinician. And
what do you consider now?
A trauma-informed consultant. So right now I'm at school and I'm working with literally teachers and students on just recognizing some of the trauma that goes on in these inner city. Yeah. You want to call me a tick? That's cool, bro. But yeah, I'm a trauma-informed consultant, so I'm literally like working with teachers on how to make sure students are regulated in the classroom and practicing all these different techniques to have, community in the classroom. The idea is to build community in the classroom. So, but yeah, I had a chance to mentor like a few clinicians before I actually transitioned out, who were successful because I gave them the truth. And I was like, yo, your billing is not going to come from you sitting in the office. Sorry, it's not. Wow. Your billing is going to come from your travel time, being out in the streets, actually going to the schools and going into these homes, getting these home visits, because it's easier to bill that way because you can bill mileage and how the distance. And so I was like, take my advice. Like, yeah, it's easier to just be here and do notes. I was like, yeah, my phone is HIPAA protected. So I'll write little notes in my phone, or I have my laptop with me in session and I'll type little things and little notes for clients. About clients, I'll just let them know, like, yeah, I'm just gonna type this up real quick because I'm hearing what you're saying and I think this is important to put in my notes. So I'll do something like that. Just so I wouldn't get behind. And literally they'll clock your turnaround rate for notes. Like supervisors were clocking turnaround time, and they'll let you know, like, you're at 3.5, you should be at 1 something. You should be at like 1.2 at the most, 1.25. I was like, what? You're doing notes every 3 days, every 3.5 days. Like, what? Why are you watching me like that? Yeah. That part was like, oh my God. Yeah.
Did you ever have anyone like, over your shoulder, just like in your mix and just either complaining or trying to write
You know what?
up or
That was
just
another.
hating on you?
No, that was the benefit of me being out the office. I couldn't catch those vibes. So there's a few clinicians that I still like talk to and actually work with who are from the guidance center who already left the guidance center. So yeah, one of my homegirls who lives up in Marietta now, she also works the PASSR with me job, but she's one of the clinicians who actually refers her private practice clients to me. And so so we actually build a bond, even though, because we were both in the field. So sometimes we would see each other out in the field. So yeah. But I stayed away from drama because I was never in the office.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you got any more questions, but because I know there's people that want to know like stuff, but I just need y'all to bring it out of me.
We got questions.
Yeah, I got plenty of questions, man. I kind of want to jump back to the beginning, man, because you spoke on, how tough it was out the gates. But what was it that initially even made you want to go into therapy and be a therapist?
When I was at Long Beach State, I was looking for at Long Beach State, I was having trouble with my long jump. So they told me to talk to a sports psych, right?
All right.
And I was like, what is he going to tell me? I'll never forget his name, Kevin Spurduke. He was an awesome guy. He worked with me on guided imagery and relaxation techniques, something I had never heard of coming out of Compton. It was just, I didn't know anything about that. Like, what the heck? It's working though, because I was a long jumper, so I kept missing the board and I didn't understand why. And so he was like, Stevie, what I want you to do, I want you to close your eyes and visualize yourself reaching that board and having the perfect jump and landing, just floating and landing. And literally that next week, I went out and jumped like 22.9 or something like that, which is good for me. It's a horrible if you're a long jumper, but it was good for me because it was good. I was like, oh snap.
What's the record?
Okay.
What's
the real record? Bro, it's like 29 feet. Long jump.
Wow. I think it's like 31 feet now.
It's something crazy. Something that my legs, my knees won't do no more. Yeah. And so that kind of led me down a path of like, I think I want to help people in that way. And I was taking a whole lot of communication classes. I took an interpersonal communication, which was one of my favorite classes in undergrad. And I was like, man, how would it be to be able to have conversations with people one-on-one and kind of help them through their issues? And so that was one of the classes I took. And then from there on, I was interested in counseling. So I was looking at master's programs in counseling. And then, I don't know, I got one of those weird emails about doing therapy at University of Phoenix. I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, therapy. And so I kind of got interested. So I called. I knew I wanted to do a master's. I had just graduated. I was like, I got to go get my master's. Otherwise, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm not going to do it. So in 2008, I decided to get into a master's program. So I had to pay the money to get it in. And then I had to take a written exam. I didn't have to take one of those tests, a graduate exam or whatever. But I had to write an essay of why I would want to become a therapist. And it was something I wanted to help Black families. I wanted to help families in Compton. I wanted to go back and give back to Compton because that's where I'm from. And I thought that was one of the most important things. And I kind of wrote that in my essay. And yeah, I got accepted into the program. And from there on, it was a lot of presenting in my master's and grad program, just presenting on different topics, which was right up my alley because I had my BA in communications. So all I did was present. So, yeah, man, that kind of led me down a path of becoming a therapist. And can I say that I help Black families today and they still hit me up? Like I have families that I helped at the guidance center that now that I'm in private practice, they still want to come out and reach out to me because I made such an impact. And it's like, thanks. But it's because it's me, I'm them, and they are me. We are Black. We have a connection that way. And I think that is so impactful for them to see a Black man in that light, because Jay said something funny. He's like, we were looking for all the Black male therapists, but we can't find them. And I was like, it's so true. They out there. I mean, we don't make ourselves as known, as presentable, but there's some out there, but it's not many. I can definitely say it's not many of us, man. And for me to hold that title, I feel like I got to step up to the plate. So I can't let my people down when it comes to trying to support and trying to help them in certain ways.
Yeah. Wow. That's good stuff, man. It's history in the making, bro. Paving the way. Yeah. Paving the way, man.
Yep. I'm trying to get my baby brother on. He want to be a therapist. Shout out to Stevie McBride. He want to follow in my footsteps, and I was like, "Come on, bro."
Oh, that's awesome, man.
How old is he?
He's 23. He'll be 24 in August. Ooh, he old.
Wow.
That's
the baby cuz.
How long would it take him to become a therapist?
Usually do about 3 years in grad school. Depending on what school you go to. I told him to become an LCSW because it just has more opportunities. We do the same job, literally, but an LCSW has more opportunities to work in the hospitals where you can make a little bit more money.
Yeah. What does LCSW stand for?
Oh, thank you for asking. Licensed clinical social worker. And I'm an LMFT. There's never no beef with no LCSWs, but they always try to create beef with us. I'm an LMFT, a licensed marriage and family therapist. They just mad because they say we get an easier licensing exam than clinical social workers. And I said, that's a lie. It's all the same exam. If you pass or fail. So, yeah.
Okay.
Now we
I
know.
love my LCSW.
I thought it meant Lakers can sweep Wolves.
Wolves are out, but yeah, I like that too. They're going to beat Memphis, but all right.
Right.
So, man, I think it's so interesting to me that that there aren't a lot of Black therapists, clinicians, male clinicians, and counselors. And I didn't really realize that you were a unicorn because I know you, and I didn't really appreciate how rare it is, especially for Black males, to like go into this field. And you just kind of told me telling me what you even dealt with once you got in.
Man,
it's like, I really want to ask you what you think is the reason why more of us don't jump into fields like this.
I don't know. I feel like some of us may look at it as maybe a weak job, maybe, or some of us may see it like you got to hear people problems all day. Ain't nobody got time for that type of thing. I don't know. I don't know why people want to not help, I guess, their community. And all I see from just a lens as just a person is a need.
Yeah.
I see a need for young Black men to have guidance, I guess. I feel like they're easily led astray these days, or just hopping on and being a part of a bandwagon of whether it's gang related things that they hear in songs or whoever's the neighborhood, like, man, I feel like they want to be a part of that life because it seems easy. It seems fun. It seems like it's, they hustle all day. I want to just hustle all day. I had to hustle and as a therapist. I had to hustle on my billing. I had to hustle to get those hours and make sure I was in compliance with DMH. I'm like, yo, every job is a hustle. I'm like, no matter what you do, I was like, my job was kind of risky. I had to go into some hood neighborhoods. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I'm not gonna be here past 5 for sure. Those are those type of neighborhoods. Yeah, I was like, oh, somebody got shot yesterday here. Okay, well, I don't have a bulletproof vest, no Teflon on me. My badge ain't gonna save my life, so I'm gonna be intelligent about this. I'm just gonna step away. Because I was going into hoods. I was going into like literally these hoods in Long Beach that I had never heard of because, I'm from Compton. I was like, what is this? Oh, you're in the Parkwoods. You near the Carmelitos. Like, oh snap, what is that?
Oh,
find out as soon as the lights go down. I was like, nah, man, I'm not about to find out.
I'm not.
So, but yeah, man, I feel like they just need guidance. And so, like, even as a trauma-informed consultant at the school that I'm at, so I work with those kids who live in those Carmelito neighborhoods now, right?
Yeah.
They see me like, you a therapist? Mr. Stevie, you a therapist? It's like, I thought you was like security. I thought you was this. I was like, all right, the disrespect is at an all-time high. Yeah, I got my degrees.
Yo, I thought you was just a cool janitor.
Exactly.
Wow.
I was like, man, I thought I saw you mopping the floor. You ain't never seen me mop the floor.
I'll to mop the floor with you.
By the way, nothing wrong with janitors. All love the janitors. We love
exactly. I mean, I love.
Wow.
We don't even call them janitors. We call them custodians now. So yeah, for their custodial services. So I don't disrespect, man. That man getting a paycheck.
Yep.
Yeah,
much love.
But yeah, they just need a guidance. They need to see somebody who look like them, who's in a different position, who's not playing basketball, who's not rapping, or who's not on a SoundCloud. And I feel like, yo, this is a great opportune time to just say, I'm him. I went out the norm, or what you used to call the norm. I'm a therapist. So yeah.
So on this therapeutic journey, somewhere along the way, you decided to become a trauma-informed consultant. What led you down that route of choosing to be a trauma-informed consultant?
Can I say this? I didn't choose that job. That job literally chose me. So I'm gonna tell you, my supervisor, who's the guy who hunted me down, who knew I was never at the office, was searching for me, and he wanted me to do what he was doing at another school site. And I was like, bro, I don't really even know what you're doing. And I had no idea what he was doing. But he thought I would be the perfect person for that job, right? Little did he know, he was right, and God was right for choosing me for that position. So I had to learn. I was certified in trauma, and I was certified in trauma-focused CBT, which is a type of EVP, which is the evidence-based practice that, most clinicians get trained in for working with people who are trauma. So my only thoughts was like, okay, trauma is an incident that happens to you where, it kind of rattles the nervous system, right? But through my supervisor picking me for this position, my whole world opening up about trauma and how trauma affects not only your entire nervous system, but how it affects your brain, and things that I didn't realize that even starts in utero, as far as like the brain having to be recalibrated to handle certain situations, right? So if you were in utero and you were pregnant, or your mom is pregnant, or you was in the womb, and you hear gunshots or you hear loud yelling and noises all the time, that affects the nervous system before you even come out and born. And so you're easily rattled instantly. But also what I learned, and because now that I'm a father, is that it's not only what happens to you when you're affected by trauma, it's what does not happen for you when you're what happens it's about what doesn't happen for you. And so that means, like, if you're not hugged, cared for, kissed, and just created around love, that also affects your whole trauma makeup. Because babies who do not get that type of love and care for, it affects them deeply. And then you start to see it as they grow and develop. It's crazy. But
some people may have gone through life not knowing what their childhood was, or maybe they didn't get that, and nobody ever told them, like, your papa and mom never hugged you and kissed you, and you know what I'm saying? And then they end up growing up with those things and not knowing the answer to why.
Yeah,
it's kind of traumatic, super traumatic.
It is. But to combat those traumatic events, and yeah, I do talk a lot about regulation, but it's also your support system that helps you through those different traumatic events, right? It depends heavily on that love and nurturing you get as an adult and creating those meaningful relationships. So we love to say, like, to surround a person or a child with a therapeutic web. So that's not only just your parent loving on you, that's your pastor, that's your school counselor, that's your teacher, that's your peers, everybody in your village. And it happens multiple times until that trauma that happened slowly starts to fade away, because you're looking through a new lens of how you're being cared for at that point in time. I'm not saying it'll never flare up, because it's a process. But when you're surrounded by love, it's hard to live in darkness when you're surrounded by love.
So as far as people that judge others, not knowing the history of that person and the lack of love or lack of village, what would you say about that? Because it's a ton of judgment that happens with people that have issues. They have a lot of mental instabilities and stuff like that. What would you say to that?
You kind of went low on that last part, Haskell, but you said, like, people who are being judged because they don't have like
people that young people that have instabilities and they have issues paying attention. They have issues giving love and things that we feel are normal to us. There's some people that really don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
So what would you say to the people that judge quickly and they're always talking at them like they're patients, opposed to human beings with?
So I'm not saying these are my teachers that I work with, but these are like teachers who doesn't understand that it's not about that kid getting up to sharpen his pencil 20 times a day. It's not about that kid who's always wanting a snack like every 2 hours or every hour. It's understanding that this kid has been affected traumatically so much that maybe it's looking deeper into the kid instead of just judging them and not knowing why they can't function normally, right? It's about having patience. It's about showing grace to these kids. And that's why I always tell, especially like my teachers, I was like, you don't know what this kid is going through. Like today, for instance, there's a teacher, I hope you never see this, but there's a teacher who's just continuously goes at a kid. So this kid is literally Jehovah's Witness one week, and then he's with his dad and he's just living his normal life another week. Can you imagine how traumatic that is, going through the different balancings of that system? And he goes to school and he just wants to see me. Wow. That's it. He just wants to see me. He needs literally 10, 15 minutes of Mr. Stevie time, and he has an awesome day.
Wow.
But when I'm looked at as a prize instead of what the kid needs, that's where the issue happens. But the thing is, the kids shouldn't even need me. The kids should want to need you as an instructor. You should be in that place holding that love and kindness for that kid instead of going at him so hard. Like, I don't know why he's not functioning right, why he's not doing his work, why he's not. He needs some one-on-one time. He needs that relationship with his teacher. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard in my position knowing that you see the cure, right? You have the cure, you're holding it, and you're telling them what they need, and they just like, pour that out.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, when you're creating more cancer around you, like, here's the cure. Here it is. I'm handing it to you. I'm just pouring it out, saying, it looks like water.
Wow.
Like, really?
And they're waiting on you to fail them, even at the beginning. Like, if you're there consistently, and then in their mind, you feel like they're thinking like, you're gonna fall off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like anybody else. Like anybody
Exactly.
else treats me.
Yeah, and I literally let that kid come in my office. I have fidgets and toys, and we'll play Uno or Connect Four. And sometimes he doesn't even play with the fidgets or anything. He'll just talk to me about life. He's a second grader. Like, he's very intelligent. He's a smart kid, but he literally, that's all he needs is a relationship. And I see that so much. Like, kids really just need relationship. How important that is. I didn't mention that I was trained in the neurosequential model. So a lot of this information also stems from Dr. Bruce Perry. So if he ever sees this, hey, Doc. Yeah. It all comes from Dr. Bruce Perry, where he talks about the 3 R's. He talks about, he's a neuroscientist who talks about how the brain works and how the brain is broken up into 3, 4 different parts. You're looking at the brainstem, the midbrain, and the prefrontal cortex, and how that survival brain, which is the brainstem, the lower brain, if it's really discombobulated and not regulated, that it disrupts the rest of the brain. And you are not able to think logically or make wise decisions if that brainstem isn't regulated. So when the prefrontal cortex is on point with the brainstem and is aligned with the midbrain, everything works as it's supposed to. But even as adults, we get a little distressed at times where our brainstem is, I don't want to say dysfunctional, but dysregulated. And when it's dysregulated, we say things that we don't mean to maybe spouses, people, or if we get cut off on the road, we say things that we don't mean to. So it happens not to just children or people who experience trauma. So people who experience trauma may feel it a little bit more in their brainstem, but for us on a regular day basis, if we're dysregulated, we're going to say things that we don't mean. We're going to do things that are not logical. We're going to make more mistakes if we're not regulated. That's why self-care is so important. That's why being able to do something that's regulating for you is so important, because it opens up that prefrontal cortex and you're able to make wiser decisions.
Oh, Stevie, we got a question in the chat for people who aren't familiar with the 3 R's.
Sorry, Ebony.
R's?
I'm just now going through it. So the 3 R's, regulate, relate, and reason, right? So that all stems from that 3 parts of the brain that I mentioned. The regulate, the brainstem. The relate is the midbrain, which is the diencephalon and the limbic system, which is where all your relationships are, in that midbrain section, the limbic and diencephalon. So I'm educating right now tonight. And then the prefrontal cortex is your reason. That's able to make smart and wise decisions. That's your logic. That's where everything is at on top, the prefrontal cortex. So if you look at it as a fist, your brainstem, midbrain, cortex, right there, prefrontal cortex. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thank you, Ebony. People don't know.
We got to educate ourselves, man.
I didn't know.
I'm getting this knowledge and bring it back to the hood. You feel me? Nah, did I just discredit myself?
Yes.
Oh man, but yeah, trauma's been like everything I've been harping on like for the last 3 years, bro, and it's been so eye-opening of just the little bit of change you can make of just having a kid regulate themselves or having an adult regulate themselves. Like everything I'm telling kids to do, I'm telling the adults to do, because regulation is, I think, key, honestly, to opening up the way you think, your lens itself, and seeing a kid through a different lens. And we all experience trauma. COVID was traumatic for everybody in the world. We've all experienced some type of effect. And the silver lining is that now that we all understand some form of trauma and what we need to do to combat that. Don't look at your watch, Haskell. I know it's time.
Oh man.
Dang.
What time is it?
Dang.
Game time.
Well,
It is 9.
it is that time, man.
I had to get that last piece in. I know. I
Are
love
we
you, Haskell.
gonna get a part 2 or what?
Oh man, if y'all want a part 2, I don't even know where we pick up. I don't even know.
Well, oh, Haskell, you on mute?
That's because he's watching the game.
Oh, you
Where's your-
know why?
Ooh.
See, I looked at
Come
my
on,
watch
man.
because it buzzed.
Yeah,
I've
no,
been
mine does too,
enjoying-
bro.
I've been enjoying the podcast, and it definitely needs to be a part 2.
Part 2.
Yeah,
We can-
because
we can
gotta,
do it, bro.
We got to talk about who Stevie is, and you know, I have a lot of questions.
I have some questions too, bro.
Like
Like,
questions, we all
For
have
real?
questions. Yeah,
Y'all talk to me every day. Now y'all got questions. All right.
but the world needs to know.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, bro. You're right.
Mhm.
Let me know when y'all want to run it back.
That hour went so fast, bro. I can't
Part
even
2.
believe it.
yeah, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
That just flew by.
We didn't even touch the music yet.
Bro,
Oh, yeah.
That was a question.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
We didn't even
All right,
talk
ladies and
about
gentlemen.
Safe Space, the song.
We didn't talk. We didn't talk about the song me and Jay did.
Stevie
Yeah.
had us in therapy.
I had to let y'all know my hardships, man. And I didn't let y'all know, like, for the first 6 years, I was like totally not wanting to get licensed. It was just not on my plate because of how much stress I had at work. Like, licensing was just not for me. And then God came in and said, huh. No, I'm joking. But
God.
once I did, that's a whole nother story in itself, just the licensing process. It's unbelievable. So yeah, we can go part 2.
We gotta do part 2, man. We got one question I think will help us kind of at least close. From Ebony, she says, "How do you decompress from your day, and what is your self-care routine?"
My self-care routine is getting up 4 a.m. in the morning and making sure I get my workouts in from my trusted trainer, Dwayne Lee. Literally. And I don't know, coming home to my daughter is so decompressing. It's like everything in the world, just I leave it literally on my front porch. Coming home to her, because she's such a happy kid, and so she makes me happy.
Amazing.
So I cannot say, like, you know, hey, I'm having a rough day. And I hear some crazy things. Even at elementary school, I hear some crazy things. Like, we had 2 vaping incidents last week. It was nuts. And I was like, you guys are 4th graders, 3rd graders. I can't believe this. And so I hear things like that all the time, just saying, you know, in my mind, I'm putting my daughter in private school. But at the same time, I'm just focused on her. Like, she is like my light right now. Like,
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
why
we
Jay
haven't talked about
Alicia wanna
Stevie as a dad.
Jay and Alicia want to have 5 kids and
What? The puppy's pregnant?
Who? Exactly. That's the only way we have 5 kids over here.
It's like kids.
Yeah, you know, we need some music for your mental babies around here. What y'all doing, man?
Yo, we got a music for your
Baby
mental. veterinary right now. We got a petting zoo.
Bro,
We
the
do.
You got a
mascot.
music for your
That's
mental
the
mascot.
Yes.
We got
Between
cats.
us yep, and dogs.
Yeah.
Between our household and Sean and Rita's household, we got a whole petting zoo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't
That's
know,
hilarious.
You guys have pets? Shout out, you guys have a pet?
Do you have
I
a
can't
pet?
hear you.
You guys have a dog or a cat or animal?
Me?
Sean.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
What do
man.
what do you guys
We
have?
got hella
Cat
cats
man.
over here. Yeah, no, the missus, she came through with
collecting cats.
two, we got our own, we got Leo and Luna.
Cat collector.
But yeah, we had a feral cat just give birth on our patio to 4 more
Wow.
kittens. So it's like, yeah, man, I'm feeding a family of 7 out here.
How your neighbors feel?
Sounds
bro?
stressed, bro. You want to talk about that?
Right.
That's next episode, bro. Next episode, we're gonna talk about,
Being a cat daddy.
talk about lucky number 7 for me.
The kitty cat blues.
Kitty Blues. Yeah, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Write a whole album about it.
Oh, project about it.
Not listening
Yes.
to that.
Cats. We have
Project
cats.
Stevie,
Cat.
anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Ah, man, can I give a shout out to my family, my lovely, gorgeous wife, Angel. I love that
Hey
girl.
girl, hey.
I
And
love
my baby girl, Olivia. I love her.
Nice.
She's
Stay focused.
oh my god. Yep. I wonder if she sleep or she listening to daddy too. But yeah, man, I want to shout out,
She
all
looking
my
at, she looking
siblings.
at her clock.
She knows it's bedtime. Yeah, it's just a shout out to moms and pops. I know they knew about it. I don't know if they tapped in though, but yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. That's the fam bam.
Mhm.
So, well, what song are we riding out on, Steve?
Man, I said let's just ride out on Safe Space.
All right. You
That's
want it?
actually literally the last song I wrote in history. In my songwriting history.
Bro, that was the greatest song. Greatest song ever, sir. For sure. Well, appreciate you, man.
Yes,
We're
sir.
definitely gonna come back. We're gonna figure out when we can do part 2.
Yeah, man.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in the chat. LeBron, Ebony, we appreciate you. And Jill, Liv. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy the safe space.
Yes, sir.
Ain't coming home. Mama trying to stay strong, but her patience is running thin. Getting sick and tired of all the trouble he's in. Fussing and fighting, it's hard to make friends, and she just gotta call, he's in the office again. One more time and they might suspend. Screaming, teacher, teacher, give him one more chance. Losing all faith like he just can't win. His back's to the wall cause he following trends. Afraid to seem weak, so we gotta pretend. Life out of control, can't see no end. He needs safe space, someone to relate, help him to be great. She needs safe space, someone to reward, never to ignore. They need safe space, someone to respect, open intellect.